the house in place?
No, that's all independent.
I believe they can. I noticed that was kind of weird.
Man. The last few nights, my daughter has been sneaking into bed. Call this meeting to order. This time, offer an invocation.
Invite you to join in prayer. Oh, gracious God, as we gather here this evening, we are mindful of not only those things in our own community, but much that's happening around the world, particularly those things in our nation, those people who are continuing to deal with the aftermath of hurricanes, for those who are dealing with the fires in California, and the people of Las Vegas. And we lift them before you, ask that you would be present with them. Particularly, we are mindful of those who are there to provide help, to help rebuild. Abide with them, we pray. And we pray now your presence with City Council as they go about their work this evening. Give them the wisdom they need, the insights that will guide them so that they might do that which is for the good of the people of this community. We indeed pray for all those who are called into places of leadership. And we would pray that they might kneel with humility, that you might raise them up to serve. Hear us, we ask, in the name of the one who came not to be served, but to serve. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As mentioned just a bit ago, we'll move the executive session down above adjournment. Is there anything else you have to add?
This time we'll move forward with the approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes with the corrections that were given us.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Sacco and seconded by Commissioner Pounds to approve the minutes of the October 2nd, 2017 special meeting, the October 3rd, 2017 special meeting, and the October 4th, 2017 meeting with corrections as stated. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to financial matters, appropriation ordinance number 19.
Question on 64928, the GIS, is that continuing payment to them? Or is this for maintenance or what? I guess what's the timeline, where are they at on that?
That's actually for my water, or
Right, the sewer lines,
the water line.
water lines, okay,
That's another contract that we did this year for the water lines.
right,
My sewer lines are about completed. They got a couple more to GIS and they'll have it completed.
okay,
But we already got the maps and everything we can look at online and stuff.
okay. So that's, the sewer lines are complete and this is
Yes.
for the water then?
Yeah, they're doing the water now.
Okay, thank you.
And we do have a maintenance agreement with us, I think $3,000 a year.
That's what I thought too,
Yeah,
I
so-
didn't know it. Thank you.
How about check number 64933, the professional engineering consultant, the WWTP improvements? What's that?
Wastewater treatment plant.
Okay, just some design stuff or?
Yeah, that's just their continuing contract amounts for design work.
Okay.
I move to approve appropriation ordinance number 19.
Second?
It's been moved by Commissioner Pounds and seconded by Commissioner Parker to approve appropriation ordinance number 19. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. This time, we'd like to open the floor to anyone who would like to make a public comment. Going once. Going twice. This time, we'll close our public comments and move on with manager's report.
You had asked me, Commissioner Sacco, about insurance on the possible pool upgrades.
Right.
And I got an answer today, and they said, I guess I didn't print off that part. We have about, I think they said $28 million in property, and so this made about less than 1%. Does that sound right? I'm going off of his figures. Anyway, he thought this would be less than 1% of that. So when I asked another person who actually is the one that works with our accounts and gives us the figures, she said she'd be thinking of probably a little bit under $100 a year for those 3 years, and then she said it would level out. So,
So $100 more?
yeah, it looks like about, if we went and had the 3 years worth of things, we'd be looking at, on the third year, $300 a month, or a year. So, because she said it
So
was a little
accounting
bit
for
less
the
than-
gradual increase
Mhm.
of,
So,
Yeah, it'll be a
Wages.
100, like 100 the first year, then the next year would be another 100 increase on that.
200.
so a total of 300,
Mhm.
so 100 for each feature.
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah,
Each year, because
that's all I
some of
got.
those years will have multiple features.
thank you.
Mayor, commission comments?
I'm good.
I'm good.
When are we looking at opening up 18th all the way? How close are they?
They still got some cleanup to do up there. They got a couple things to re-pour, and that's about it. A couple days up there and they could have it done and we can open it up. If they don't get it next week, I can open it up and let them have at it. But
Where do they have to report at?
there's one driveway that's too steep. They're bottoming out of Brooks's. They didn't bring it down far enough and we gotta redo it. And then, they run over some sidewalk that they poured the other day. They gotta redo it, so.
Okay. And then where are we at on the sign for the viaduct? The one that we're putting in?
The flashing light?
Yeah.
It's there.
It's up.
Yeah.
Is it still,
I didn't mention that to you. Maybe I told Larry about it
okay.
or something, but yeah, it's up, it's flashing,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Ron, we talked before we started that project about Washington Street, that one block of gravel, about maybe some kind of a berm or terrace or whatever to keep the gravel from,
Right.
is that something we can do?
I was just gonna hold off on that and wait and see what happens. I want them to clean that all up first, and I wanna go back in there and I wanna pack some millings back in there. Before, the street just went straight across there and it was washing it down through there easier. Now that it actually's got the approach coming back there a little ways to the back of the radius, I wanna see how it's gonna work. Plus, I wanna crown that road a little bit to where the water stays on one side and it goes to that one drain at the top.
To keep the
I
gravel
just wanna
off?
try it. If it
Yeah.
don't work, then, I don't know. I thought about shooting oil on them millings and try to gravel it and do something there. It's either that or I can put me a valley gutter from the alley down to that one drain. You know, just getting the right of way and put it down through there. And I can do that with our city staff if we
Okay.
want to.
It's a beautiful street, and we
Yeah.
filled up with gravel like.
Right, and
past,
I'm
we'll
hoping
avoid
once
that.
the grass gets growing, all the dirt and stuff quits washing in there and washing down there and settling down there too, so,
Thanks.
okay?
Ron, I did have somebody comment too about on Broadway, about 20th Street up towards the dam. I think they had a lot of silt come down when they were working on the new sidewalk. Have you noticed that at all? 'Cause
On
it's kind of a-
20th Street?
Yeah, like 20th and Broadway, so Broadway going south towards the dam.
Okay, I can look at that.
You might just take a look
I
at
just
it.
drove through there and I didn't notice any. I know from the alley back to the curve, there's a lot of potholes there, and I try to grade that and get that water out of there. And after the sidewalk all gets completed, Larry left me with some orders to try to put a parking in there for people to stop and park there. And I wanna try and get that water to drain off better so we don't have them holes and stuff there. I will look at that silting. Is it in the alley? Cause I seen some in the alley there. that they
Well,
need
it
to
was
clean up.
actually, the comment, and then I went by there, was actually Broadway Street itself.
Okay, more down on 20th?
Going north toward, so where the sidewalk, the new
Ends?
sidewalk ends, then going north,
Okay. Yeah.
towards town.
And I don't know if they created that or what, but I
Well,
know when them people drive through that water over there, it makes a mess out
Yeah, I
of it.
talked to Don Dean, and he was, made it pretty clear it wasn't their fault.
Well, it's pretty hard to do there, but I'll look at it, and I know there's a puddle there, and we gotta get it to drain somehow or another. Cause I was gonna cut that bank off there and then put that parking a little lower so water can just run right over to the ditch.
Okay. All right, just wanted to
Try
make
to
sure
do
you're
something.
aware of it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Ron.
I was out by the new trail the other night and with the lights, it looked pretty darn good. Yeah,
Very
it
sure.
really does.
Anything else? Moving on to staff comments.
I just wanna mention that, Brad Waller come to the airport advisory board meeting last night that we had, and they're wanting to start, we put in for this, parking lot up there at the airport, and they're wanting to start the process of getting that started. And what we gotta do is we got a selection process for the consultant we gotta go through, so I gotta contact FAA and I gotta get that process started and we'll get them selected, whoever we want, so we can get that project going maybe. So we can get it designed and then next year maybe let it in May or so we can get it done by fall or so, something like that. I just wanna let you know that we're in the process of starting that. And then if we ever get bids back and stuff, we'll probably bring it to you, but we're looking at sometime after the first year before that's ever coming to you. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, Ron. All right. Don't want to leave anyone out. Very well. This time I'd entertain a motion to go for executive session.
How much time do we need, do you think?
I would say we could start at 30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay. I move the city commission recess into executive session to discuss personnel matters pursuant to the non-elected personnel matter exception KSA 75-4319B1 and to reconvene in the city commission chamber at
You say 6:15.
6:15. Yeah.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Hash, second by Commissioner Parker to recess into executive session to discuss personnel matters pursuant to the non-elected personnel matter exception KSA 75-4319B1 and to reconvene in the City Commission chamber at 6:15 PM. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Action was taken.
15?
Yeah, let's do 20. So at this time, I'd entertain a motion to recess into executive session to discuss non-elected personnel pursuant to the non-elected personnel matter exception KSA 75-4319B1, inviting Stacy, reconvening in City Commission chamber at 6:25 p.m.
No. That's only 10 minutes.
36, sorry, 35.
That's all we need right now.
We don't need Stacy for more than
10 minutes.
Fair enough.
Second.
6:25. Well, that was, can I don't know if I can. Oh, I can? I thought I had to have it. Okay, it's moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Reconvene in the City Commission chamber at 6:40 p.m. Is there any further discussion? Or is it? Okay, that's a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. At this time, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Hash, seconded by Commissioner Pounds to adjourn. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
So you guys know